baseball fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Well, it is a final from Anaheim, and the results are good. Welcome in, everybody. It is the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, and free on the Odyssey app. We will welcome in our network stations at the top of the hour. But a 3-1 Brewers win to take the first two games of this three-game weekend series. A big, big win. It really was. Tim Allen and Aaron Morse alongside tonight as Gasser and company doing the Angels. Again, 3-1 the final, and the pivotal thing here is now you have a chance to have the sweep tomorrow, obviously, but you have a chance to have a winning road trip, and I think that's key here. You got to make hay here against these teams. They got a shot at it, 4-2. However that worked out, that would have been fine. I think at the start of this sixth game, or 3 in San Francisco, 3 in L.A. against the Angels. But the Brewers now have the best record in all of baseball. On the day that the Dodgers acquire Tarek Skubal. We're going to get into all of that. It's just head shaking, and it should not be surprising. It's just think of the rotation over there in LA for the Dodgers. Snell and Ohtani and Skubal and Yamamoto.
Skubal.
It's just okay. So we'll get into all that. I want to get your reaction here on the game and the trade. Now we're looking at about 40 hours, maybe 30 some odd hours before the trade deadline, which is 5 p.m. Central on Monday. And the Brewers did make a trade today. So a lot to unpack here, and we've got plenty of time. We're going to be on the air until 1 o'clock in the morning here. So if you want to join us, participate in the conversation, you can do so at 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. And this would be 28 games over 500 now, which is a high watermark for the Crew. The best record in baseball, again, with about 50 games left in the campaign. So a big win. They can go after the sweep. Miz on the mound. Harrison on the way back. There's some good things to look at. Lockridge was activated today. By the way, those of you that want to rewind the tape and go back to, I was just a little bit concerned on Wednesday, Game 3 in San Francisco. The mighty Thomas Pannone. You remember that guy? The mighty Tommy Pannone.
Tommy, we're going to give up this game before it even starts, Pannone?
That guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the guy. DFA'd him. Just he's that good to start in a championship season. Come on. That was ridiculous. But how about Shane Drowan last night? That should have been on Wednesday. Just saying. But Drowan throws last night, and that was dynamite. Gasser follows that up tonight. He had 5 innings of one-run ball, struck out 6, and then it was Chad Patrick, 6 big outs in the middle of this game. And at that point, you're looking at a 1-1 really tight ball game. It was a big performance from Chad Patrick tonight. 5 strikeouts in his 2 innings in relief. And then it was Uribe. Then it was McGill, slammed the door, a 3-1 win. 1 million strikeouts for Angels hitters. They had a scratch today. Soriano scratched because of, potential trade. I believe the floodgates are going to open now, I would suspect, now that the Skubal sweepstakes are taken care of. And my original thought when Skubal went to the Dodgers was the head shaking, like, that's fine. And you kind of knew it was going to happen, didn't you? Didn't you deep down? Didn't you know it was going to happen? Don't you want to know what the Brewers offered for Skubal?
Yeah, I want to know exactly how the conversations went down, because the offer, just on paper, just, knowing who the Dodgers gave up, feels a little weak.
Well, it's prospects on their list of 5, 7, and 17. So in their top 30, it's 5, 7, and 17. If you equate that to the Brewers, Adam Shesky, Braylon Payne, and Burke.
Yeah.
Though, would you have done that deal?
Well,
in a second.
I probably would. Now, I am a huge Josh Adamszewski fan, supporter. So,
well, sometimes things happen for a reason, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Adamszewski's, going to be the future. It could be. You'd never know. But I would have done that deal in a heartbeat.
I am of the belief also, maybe this is just sour grapes for me, but I think the Dodgers prospects are overrated every single year. And so,
but that's what they do. That's what you should do. That's what the Brewers should be doing. They should be advertising from the highest mountain in the land, screaming about how good all of these guys are.
Listen, the seventh overall prospect that they gave up is 27 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's only pitched 4 games in the big leagues. And come on, how good can the guy be if he's 27 and apparently he's their 7th best prospect?
Exactly. All right. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. We'll get in a quick break here. You guys can re-rack and figure out what you want to suggest on the Nicolay Law talking text line. You can text in. Where's your head at now that Skubal goes to the Dodgers? Are the Dodgers ruining baseball? Does this ensure now pretty much, unless the Rays or the Brewers or the Guardians win the World Series, aren't the rest of the owners going to say, you know what, we just the rich get richer. We got to level the playing field. Maybe that's your thought. Okay, we'll take a break. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here as the Brewers win 3-1. They take game 2 of this 3-game series. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We'll get to your phone calls here and get your reaction here on the Brewers situation. That trade, well, they win the game tonight. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. 3-1 the final. A bomb from Bowers. 20th on the season. You know when he hit that home run? He was on base 14 times in his last 23 plate appearances. Mm-hmm. He was 11 for his last, I want to say 20. That was after that home run, his 20th on the campaign.
I think 4 of his last 5 games were multi-hits.
Wow. Weird because it put a scare into us earlier on this road trip about a broken toe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, they're going to need him. When you go after that Dodgers starting staff, they're going to have a healthy Jake Bowers. All right, then you have Bryce Terang, beautiful at bat to give the Brewers a lead at that point, 2-1. They would add on with a Cooper Pratt RBI base hit as well. How about Cooper Pratt? Boy, the Brewers, they just know things, don't they? Well, they knew that Skubal was going to go somewhere. And were the Brewers involved? I would imagine be a healthy guess, yes. But wouldn't you like to know what they offered? Of course you would. Brewers did make a trade. Cody Hoyer is your right-handed reliever coming back, along with catcher Bo Naylor. The Blake Perkins era is now over. So it was Perkins and Craig Yoho. Trying to figure this out, and I think it has everything to do with Jefferson Caro, would be my guess on that trade.
I agree.
Yeah, and they need the catching depth right there. If anything were to happen to Sanchez or, heaven forbid, Wild Bill, they would need someone immediately to step in. At least he's got some big-time experience. So Bo Naylor now, they sent him to Nashville along with the right-handed reliever. Lockridge activated, Garrett Stallings. So a lot of moving parts here as the Brewers get the 3-1 win and take over the best record in all of Major League Baseball at 69-41. And now let's get to your phone calls to Oconomowoc on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What's going on, Justin?
Hey, guys, couple things. One, Caro could be up for trade. That might be why they got Naylor. Which
that could be too,
me.
Yeah.
Happy the Brewers won, but I'm so irritated by this Skubal move. It really feels like that Detroit basically said, "We want Mate. If you don't give him to us, we're not giving him to you." And then they went.
But
okay,
then why would they take then the 5, 7, and 17 from LA?
Because they know we need him, and they know the Dodgers don't. So they're gonna be like, "Give us Mate." No, we're not gonna give you Mate. Okay, you're not getting him.
Wow.
That's how it feels like to me. That's what it feels like. And at this point, the Dodgers got him not because they need him, just because they didn't want anyone else to get him. So we're just going to put him on our team, and then we'll either sign him in the offseason or not. Doesn't matter because we're the Dodgers. We can do whatever we want.
Wouldn't surprise me if they sign him. Wouldn't surprise me if they sign him before the season's even over, or at least make some offers.
It's very possible. Correct.
And just defer everything down the line too. Make sure you defer everything.
Right. I would be shocked if Skubal agrees to sign before the end of the season just because of...
He wants to get some other offers, right?
He wants the highest payday, and the Dodgers will probably be like, we'll match whatever the highest offer is.
Well, and they made the Dodgers are in a position to say, hey, you either take this now or we're just not even going to be involved. Right. And they may force the hand.
Correct. And this move made me so upset that I went outside in the middle of the night with a flashlight to pick up dog poop, because that's what this feels like. That's what this feels like, man.
Justin.
It's just frustrating.
Oh, there'll be better days. But you know what? The only way to combat this is to beat that team.
True. So then the question is, do we go out? Who do we get now? Do we go get Green? Do we go and make
Robbie Ray?
Robbie Ray's my choice.
Right. We got a couple options. What about Hancock in Seattle? He's a young talent, but I feel like at this point the Brewers aren't going to make a move unless they know it's a guy that's got a couple years of control. Why do we waste the prospects then? Because the Dodgers are going to beat us.
Well, we'll see. And that's, man, this is interesting.
That's the frustrating part. They need guys with control. Otherwise, what's the point of making a trade?
And that's probably where they're going to live and have lived that team
That's where
control
Green
thing
comes into play. He's got like 3 years. Hancock's got like 3 years. I don't know.
All right, we'll see. Justin, thanks for the call. Let's go next to Nick. Nick, you're up next here on the postgame show. What's up?
Well, at least there's a slight silver lining to the Scooble move, is that you didn't go to the flubs.
That's true.
That
is true. Yes.
But I will say the Scooble move to the Dodgers. I mean, it almost felt as bad as if he would have gone to the Cubs. I just cannot stand LA. You just gotta go out and you gotta make a counter move. I think you gotta outpitch them if you get to the playoffs against them. I wouldn't mind. Hey, you know what? Give the Angels a call right next to you in the dugout. They got a couple guys, Soriano and Reed Detmers. I'd like to maybe see if we can get one of those guys.
The
Detmers
deal makes a little bit better sense, but he's got, I think, 2 years control.
Right.
That does make some sense there. But again, the way Drone's pitching, I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do. The next day for the Milwaukee Brewers, someone brought it up the other day on this show, and they said it's going to be fascinating what the Brewers do or don't do. But I'm still convinced. I still think you can take it to the bank, guys. They're going to get a reliever out back there. They will. I mean, you're going to rely on Chad Patrick and Aaron Ashby. Are they? And again, overall having good years, but are they? Are they dialed in like you want them to be? Just locked down? Yeah, maybe not. So we'll see. But now, do you want to combat the pitching of the Dodgers with a bat?
Yeah, the thing is I don't know what bat is out there. I mean, we know what's plagued the Brewers for many years, and that's been the lack of thump. And there's not really a thumper out there that I can confidently say, like, yeah, he's going to be that guy and that a team is going to want to move off of him.
Well, and the other thing is where to put him. Where are you going to put him?
Yeah.
I mean, you go out there and get a third baseman. That makes sense. Okay, it's Joey Ortiz or it's David Hamilton. Okay, fine. Yep. You put those guys as utility guys. It even makes sense if you were to find a shortstop with power, which is very rare. That Cooper Pratt, being as young as he is, I could understand if they were to go out and get a bat. Outside of that, where are you going to put him?
I think the problem is Yelich is clogging up your DH spot.
It's bingo. Listen, the deal on Yelich. Here's the deal on Christian Yelich. Not yet. You don't do it yet. I would say in the next 2 to 3 weeks, 20 days, 24 days, somewhere in there, 18 days. You have a chat with that dude, and you say, "Look, you're either going on the IL to fix whatever ails you, or you're moving down to the 6th or 7th spot in our order."
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him humbled for a second because I think that might work. It actually could work. He's got to be hurt. I mean, did you see? You watched the game tonight, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Caught a good amount of the game.
Yelly, can you help out a little bit? Just a little bit. Can you help out?
Turn back the clock just a little bit.
Yes.
Just a little bit, man.
I mean, what's he hitting now? 237?
Yeah, it's not great, and he has no thump. I just think he's one too many injuries down.
His back's got to be ailing up. It would not surprise any of us.
Too many back injuries.
Could be. All right, well, hang in there, man. There was a good day today in that, thanks for the call, in that the Brewers won. On the other side, those of you that really wanted Scooble, he not only didn't get him, but he went to the Dodgers. The rich get richer. I wonder what this does in a way. And this was a trade. This wasn't a sign. This was a trade. We have to keep that in mind. But I wonder what this does for a potential lockout. It just seems like it's just throwing gas on the fire.
Yeah, we were talking before we started the post game, and I said, well, my rooting interest is number one, and by far, Brewers win the World Series. And if the Brewers don't win the World Series, my next rooting interest will be the Dodgers, because that's the only way I see for it to get a little more even moving forward, in terms of either the Brewers are going to be able, and all other small market teams are going to be able to push back towards those bigger markets just based on whatever gets decided, or the Brewers are forced to spend more money, which means extending William Contreras or Bryce Terang or Jacob Mizrachi to reach a salary floor number. So the next best decision, I guess, is the Dodgers winning it and forcing everybody's hand.
Or just professional sports has a way of determining its own cliffhanger and drama. It just kind of happens at times. And deep down, there's something way inside me, man, that just says the Brewers will beat that team, because nobody believes they will. How many times have you had a lock of the century, 13.5-star lock on a Monday night football game, and it just goes the other way? It just, something inside of me says they'll find a way. Wouldn't that be poetic justice? Wouldn't that be the anti-Dodger thing to happen and stunning thing to happen? You can call me crazy talk or not, or just, too much of a Brewer guy. Now, to what you were saying, Aaron, I think what could hurt is if the Tampa Rays or Cleveland Guardians won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
that would give the Union a whole lot of bargaining power, wouldn't it?
Worst case scenario for the Brewers.
Because really all of it. Yes.
Not only are they the small market team that now gets lumped in with those, like, you see, you can win it, but then also they're not the small market team that won it. So it's worst case scenario if the Guardians or the Rays or any other of these smaller market teams won a World Series. The only other bad worst case scenario is that blue and red team South wins it.
That's true. It's going to be interesting. Let's go from a Nick to a Nicholas.
He is actually just dropped out.
He did.
Just
okay.
Lost
Nicholas,
his chance.
We just had you. I don't know. Pick another one.
Let's go KJ.
KJ, what do you say? How do you like this night? There's good and there's not so good.
Good evening, Tim Crazy Talk.
Crazy Talk.
How you doing? Hey, listen, the Dodgers continue to stack the deck against the rest of Major League.
Hey, they offered, and they're the ones that offered up the players. I mean, it's not like they signed Scooble. They made a trade for him.
Yeah, and we could have made a trade for him as well, Tim.
I would have again. I wasn't in those conversations. I don't know what the Brewers may or may not have offered.
Yeah, well, based on what the Tigers accepted, that'll give you a good barometer of what we could have done or should have done or whatever. You know what I mean? Based on what they accepted, the Dodgers. And so my theory right now is that the Brewers need to go out and get the biggest bat out there. I don't care who it is. I mean, it could be Alvarez or whatever. I would love to see them get Luis Ariz at this point. And I would sit Yelich's behind on the pine for the rest of the year.
If they wanted Alvarez, they could get him. You are aware of that, right?
Absolutely. And they should.
The problem is the Astros are now 1.5 games up in their division.
Right in the thick of it. Yeah.
I know. I get that. But, if you're going to make a move, this is the time and this is the year. You've got the assets. Those assets are those are baseball coins, bitcoins, if you will. Okay, that's your currency. And if you don't use that currency, then what good is it? You know what I mean? You don't have the salary, the money that you want to invest to get another player that's going to put you over the top. So you've got to use those assets. And if you don't, then, you have no one to blame but yourself.
You think the Brewers have something big cooking as we speak?
I would hope so. I really do. After losing out on Skubal, they've got to focus on getting offense. They have to. And a back end guy, as you alluded to, Tim, somebody, a reliever that's going to be decent, that can eat up some innings. You have a great evening, and you continue to be crazy talk, Tim. I love
Thank you. I'm just saying that the storylines in pro sports have a way of policing itself, don't they? Goodness, would that be something? You know what? You can have Skubal. You can have him. We're going to beat you anyway.
Yeah, that would be so much sweeter.
Oh, man. Or maybe they get bumped out by someone else.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Nicolay Law talking text line. I got plenty of time for you tonight. 414-677-1250. Potawatomi Sportsbook as the Brewers beat the Angels 3-1.
Who gave the crew some breathing room? What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game. Brought to you by G2 Insurance. Your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, we'll get to your calls here on the Brewers situation. They did make a trade today, and it wasn't Skubal, although he was traded today to the Dodgers. 3-1, the Brewers win. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. That's Aaron Morse, Tim Allen, and a Brewers 3-1 win. Insurance run of the game came in the 9th inning. It was cool. This was a little bit of a tighter ball game, probably what it should have, but Brewers couldn't get much offense rolling. But it came, the Brewers were up 2-1 in the 9th inning. Boy, the kid just keeps keeping on. Cooper Pratt added insurance.
Going in on Pratt. Ground ball hit towards the middle. It'll sneak through. Mitchell will score. There's your insurance run. Kept those hands in on the fastball and guided it back up the middle.
Yeah, back-to-back nights, too, for Cooper Pratt. Getting a base hit RBI with 2 outs. That's a big one right there.
Yeah, it is. It gave him a little bit of wiggle room there on Brewers TV. Did you see Vinny Rottino caught a foul ball tonight?
Yes, he did. He deflected it. He caught it on the ricochet, but it's a catch nonetheless.
We'll call it a catch.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. That is your insurance run of the game, which is brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. In sports, you want a teammate who's been there before in Wisconsin. That teammate is G2 Insurance Services. They aren't just an agency. They're your friend in insurance, whether you're a business owner needing a specialized BOP or a homeowner protecting your family. G2 builds relationships on honesty and value. From auto and home to complex commercial coverage, Tom and the team at G2 have been the neighborhood pros since 2004. Don't get caught without a game plan. Call G2 Insurance Services today at 262-784-0644 or visit g2ins.com. G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. Let's get back to you guys. The Brewers now the best record in baseball on the day that Skubal goes to the Dodgers. Figures. And trade deadline hours tick, 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 tocking away here. The Brewers have all day tomorrow and most of the day on Monday, and that's it. So are they going to make a move? You can't be necessarily reacting to what another team does. In other words, they get pitching, the Brewers get a bat. Brewers should just improve their baseball team as best they can. Now, should they go all in? I don't even know what that means. That could mean different things to me and you, different things to Matt Arnold. All right, where are we going to go, Aaron?
Let's go to Dan.
All right, Dan, you're next. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show.
Yeah, thanks. I agree. I agree with Aaron. Because I think the Dodgers are overrated, their farm system. And I agree with you. We don't need Skubal. We've got to go all in to get that guy. It's not our pitching that's got us to what, is their pitches. Our pitching has got us to where the best record we have. It's our record is what we are. It's our bats that let us down. It seems to me a lot of times that we're in the game, you got to bring Patrick and Ashby in. It's a close game. We left runners on base. We should be beating these teams with the lower record by 4 or 5 runs. We need a bat. And I got all the confidence in the world with Matt Arnold. It took a long time for this organization to get to where it is. I wouldn't be giving up our future unless it was a sure thing. And with the lockout coming next year, who knows? Maybe the Dodgers offered him a contract. I don't know. I'm convinced that if Arnold has just got us to where we are today, let him make the moves and we go with it. We have a lot of great future ahead of us in the minor league system coming up. I mean, they're hitting home runs, they're setting records like crazy. So I wouldn't be giving up a whole lot to get somebody, unless, like you said, a left-hand reliever and maybe a bat. We definitely need a bat. And I do have a question for you guys, but I can't get an answer from anybody. If you signed a guy to a 4-year extension like now, and next year there's a lockout, does his service count, or do they have to serve another year?
No, everything stops. So that 4 years would pick up. If the whole season's washed out, that 4-year deal will pick up the following season.
So he still has to stay with you for 4 years.
Yes, he does. And for example, if you make a trade for someone with 2 years of team control,
right,
meaning 2 more option years left or 2 more RB years left, but in essence, team control, that will just stop and it will pick up 2 years as of 2028 and 2029 instead of 27 and 28.
But if you play a 60-game season,
then it's going to count as a service year. Yes.
So that would count that would count as a season. If they have like a half a season, huh?
Yep.
Just like COVID did.
Okay, great. Thank
All right,
you, guys.
Danny. Thank you for the call. Have we considered? Now, I don't know if this. I don't know if this had occurred or not. Skubal does not have a no trade clause. Okay?
I don't believe so.
Right. So he just doesn't. I wonder. I wonder if he had an opinion in this with the GM.
I don't believe so. I mean, he did. It was reported that he does have a preferred free agent destination of the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that, maybe the Dodgers are, but I have a hard time believing that the Tigers would have listened to Skubal if he said, no, I don't want to go to Milwaukee, or no, I don't want to go to Atlanta. I'd rather go to Los Angeles, even if the Brewers and the Braves or the Cubs or the Phillies, whoever other than the Dodgers had better offers. I have a hard time believing Detroit would have played into that and taken a lesser offer for him.
And then Tarek Skubal said, hey, if you trade me to the Dodgers instead of the Brewers, I will consider signing with you in the offseason, coming back to Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
What
I don't
fool
know.
would fall for that?
That's true. All right, who's next?
Let's go to Southside Doobie.
Doobie, what's going on? It's Saturday night. What's up?
You guys, thanks for holding down the Fort franchise.
Yeah, no, you got it.
And good to have ... Morse with us.
Morse, yes.
I'm with you, franchise. The Skubal deal, it's just going to make us beating them better. It's going to make a better story that they got Skubal, they got everybody, and then we beat them.
Well, that's just what a fan does, and I'm going to make no bones about it. I'm a fan first, and I will say, Doobie, hold on. We'll keep you through the break here because we do have a network obligation here to get to, and then we have another full hour, so we've got plenty of time. But I mean, I'm a fan first, but man, wouldn't that be something if the Brewers beat that team? Oh man, wow. I know. You guys are saying, Tim, have you seen the lineups? All right, we'll take a break here. Don't go anywhere. A long way to go. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show after a Brewers 3-1 win.
Baseball fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is a final from LA, and the results are good. It's also a final, the Scooble sweepstakes, and your winner is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. We've been on in Milwaukee, and we welcome in our network affiliates. And the Brewers get a 3-1 win as they take the first two games of this series. Now this road trip looking a lot better than it did coming out of San Francisco. So you're doing what you should do in LA against the Angels, but the other LA team just got a little bit better, and we're discussing that. We have a full hour of taking your calls here. We'll get to Pat Murphy as well. Nicolay Law talking text line at 414-677-1250. Tim Allen, Aaron Morse. We're back on the air tonight. Last night we stepped away for a little bit. And, change is coming. And the one thing that is constant is we're going to be doing post-game coverage. And whether that's sidekicks of Aaron Morse or Sparky, I shouldn't say sidekicks. It's sort of demeaning.
Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen.
Well, but again, a co-host. How about that? And maybe more changes coming. But we're still going to talk Brewers baseball after Brewers games. Occasionally, look, there's 162 of these things. Once in a while, there might be a little glitch in the system, okay? So we appreciate you guys hanging in there. And the one thing is, in terms of being a Brewers fan, I'm going to be a Brewers fan first and then a broadcaster second. So let's get to it. Scooble goes to the Dodgers. Brewers get the win. They now have the best record in baseball at 69-41. At some point, that will translate to some higher achievements. You keep doing that. There's something to be said about that. Also, just got a text from my buddy saying, is Mark Adonasio's job to win the World Series or to provide great entertainment, bringing families together?
A summer of fun.
That's right. Doobie, let's get you back on the Nicolay Law talking text line, 414-677-1250.
Hey, guys and everybody, great callers. The thing, everybody keeps talking about who we want to get, but who are you willing to give up?
Mm-hmm.
Vaughn is gone, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Well, he's an extra player that they're not even playing, and he's a bat. I kept saying, play the hitters, and Vaughn is sitting on the bench the whole time.
Well, this has been, I think, according to a lot of Brewers fans, this lineup you saw tonight is your A lineup.
Yeah. Well, okay, so who are you willing to give up? We just had to say goodbye to Blake, right?
Yeah, Blake Perkins is out. Lockridge is activated. Perkins and Craig Yoho traded to the Guardians.
Right. So who else are you willing to give up? I mean, are you willing to give up Churio?
No.
For what? Right. For what?
Yeah, well, that's what it comes down to. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. For what? I mean,
everybody has their red line, right? Everybody values prospects differently or certain prospects differently, right? So we're never going to agree on who is untouchable. But I think,
and that's true.
Yeah.
Now, if I were Todd Johnson, scouting director, if I were Flanagan, the farm director, if I were anybody involved in that area, in that department, I would do every interview I could possibly do and highly tout your guys. Now, I know the numbers are the numbers, and other teams have a way of, really analyzing your talent. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Continually talk up your prospects. Just continually do it all the time, and then do it some more. because, that does get around the industry a little bit. Yankees did it for a long time. They still do it. Going all the way. I remember talking about this when the Yankees were touting Kevin Moss as this big Babe Ruth. And it's Kevin Moss, really. So I would continue to do it. That's kind of what the Dodgers do. But again, I'm not discounting that those prospects aren't good ball players, because they probably are. 5th, 7th, and 17th ranked in the Dodgers system. That would be Josh Adamszewski.
Yep.
That would be Braylon Payne and Brock Burke.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Burke.
Well, we got to remember what you want to give up. All the callers, think about that. What do you want to give up for that?
Well, Madej and Fisher and Pena, maybe Pena, maybe.
I brought up a rise over a month ago, thinking instead of a home run hitter, because I don't think that really works. Look at Josh Naylor. And look at Eugenio Suarez from last year.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to get both those guys. Both those guys they got big contracts, and they end up, batting the Mendoza line. And
a rise would be a lot cheaper. A rise would be a lot cheaper, and you throw them at third base and say, figure it out. We just made a trade for you. You're playing third base. That's that. And you're leading off. That's that.
Right, and the Brewers are just base hitters, When we lost to San Francisco, they Brewered us. They just hit, base hit, base hit, base hit, base hit. Okay, imagine that with a rise, hitting another base hit. And
so did it?
Then you got the merry-go-round going, double.
That's true. So did it surprise you that Skubal went to the Dodgers?
No, I think there's something shady there, and I think Pablo Torre is going to have to do a investigation.
Something a little shifty going on, some debauchery and malfeasance and transgressions.
Exactly. I guarantee you there's something shady going on there.
And some chicanery. All right, got to go, Doobie. See you later, brother. You got it. All right, 414-677-1250 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Let's bring in Bill in Iron River. Bill, what's going on? How do you feel now?
Tim, I tell you what, I'm quite pleased that the Brewers didn't get Skubal.
Okay.
Seems like everybody's forgetting he was injured earlier, and I don't wish anybody bad luck, but it would be great if this blew up in the Dodgers' faces if right at the playoff time he came up with a sore arm or something. I don't think he's a long-term solution to anybody's rotation. Okay. He's already been injured. And look at what happened with I can't remember the guy's name already. Our pitcher that we signed for $22 million. That's, once he got
Woody.
Injured, it was just a snowball, and I'm preferring the Brewers hang on to their prospects.
All right. Very good. You're probably one of the very few, but I appreciate that sentiment, Bill. Thank you. Sometimes, as I said, these situations have the ability and have shown some history to remedy themselves and to police itself. Is it that easy? I mean, when Dave Roberts said, let's ruin baseball, that was disgusting, first of all. I mean, that just snubbing nose at everybody. Now, was he saying it as a joke? Not really. No, he got caught up in the moment and just said, yeah. I mean, but look at it from their perspective also. If you owned a team in a big market, wouldn't you buy a bunch of good players because it's within the rules of Major League Baseball?
Yeah, the Dodgers didn't need Tarek Skubal. But
no, they didn't.
But if you're the Dodgers, Why the hell would you not make this trade?
I agree.
These guys are never, the 3 prospects they traded are never going to play on their team. They have, I think.
Not anytime soon.
I think they have 3 outfielders higher rated than Zaire Hope, who is their 5th best prospect. Then they have River Ryan, who is their 7th best. He's 27 years old.
27.
And they have 5 starters right now that are Cy Young candidates on any given year. They're never going to pitch this guy. And then some double-A pitcher that, like, who cares? Like, why wouldn't they do it? Because they can. Here's the thing. They can go sign anyone they want at any time, so it's not a big deal. The Brewers can't go out and sign anyone. So they need to keep their prospects more than the Dodgers do anyway. But the Dodgers have a great farm system too. And, well, whatever. We got 4 outfielders who are also top 100. Like, it doesn't matter at all to them.
And
of course they're going to do it.
And the owners that are in the camp of, I mean, if we've got to go with a lockout, then that's what we'll do. Would some of those owners' minds be changed if and when the Brewers win the World Series? Would they change their opinion then and say, well, I guess the Brewers proved you can do it? Yeah.
All right, Tim, we got a lot of messages coming in on the Nicolay Talking text line, also on our Growth Law video streams on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. They're coming in. I mean, this is the most comments I've ever seen on any show specifically. But people are saying Skubal versus the Brewers. Tim in Caledonia called in as well about Skubal versus the Brewers. What does that look like? Well, in his career, he's 2-0 with a 2.29 ERA. In 2024, at 3 starts, he went 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run. In 2025, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. And then this year, he didn't get a win, no decision. If you remember back, that's when Blake Perkins had that 2 RBI double down the line in Detroit. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned. So this year he was not good against the Brewers necessarily, but in his career, 2.29 ERA.
And those starts are similar numbers to any other team.
Yeah. So he's been Tarek Skubal against the Brewers, and the Brewers probably do get to better pitchers more than most other teams because they can just they just frustrate and bug pitchers. So they could get Skubal for sure, but Skubal could also just shove. And so
he's a great pitcher.
Who knows? Who knows how it's going to go? So I think looking at the numbers is a little tough. I think that's probably what we would have thought if we didn't know the numbers.
Yeah. Read a couple more, and then we'll get back to the calls.
Yeah, a lot of people are back and forth on the whole. A lot of Skubal on the talk and text line tonight. A lot of people saying, "Hey, this would be a lot sweeter to beat them." Some people saying that, let's see, there was one I was looking for.
I like the one, the Cub comment. At least the Cubs didn't get him.
Yes, there was definitely 3 or 4 of those comments on the text line and on our YouTube stream. A lot of people saying, well, this is a lockout, guaranteed lockout. This is how it's going to go. And it's whatever.
This is only part of it, though. I mean, again, they didn't buy Skubal with money. They traded for him, guys. We need to keep that money. But I know what you mean with that. Rich get richer. If you're Skubal, where would you want to go? I mean, not that he had a choice, but is it going to surprise you? First of all, twofold question. Did it surprise you that it was the Dodgers? Number one. And number 2, is it going to surprise you if he signs with the Dodgers in the offseason? Hell no. It's not surprising to me at all. Not at all. But something tells me this is going to backfire on that team. Something has this, I don't know. Just some bad juju toward that team or whatever it might be. It just, something doesn't jive for me. It cannot be that easy.
Sean in Sullytown says, Tim, this is a callback to one of the callers who said, I went into my dark yard to perform some canine fecal recon after hearing Skubal to LA. Just seemed to lower the blood pressure. Now you're on to something in this 26 championship season. Just beat LA to get to where we needed to go. Baseball gods even it out. 5-letter word, karma. Let's get a bat. Split DH time with 22. That's Yelich. Great job as always.
Thank you. The baseball gods. They, when things get sideways, they will step in and say, hold on. Hold the phone here. We got to even this thing out a little bit. And pretty soon they start turning these baseball cosmic tumblers and they click into place and they even the playing field. There's a lot of times that happens in this game. You think you got it handled, you got it made, it's going to humble you, and it's going to turn the tide on you.
Here's another.
I hope the Brewers are involved in that. Yes.
Just a different texture in the 414. The Brewers haven't made a big move since 2018. They can't sign big free agents. What's the point of hoarding prospects if you aren't going to use them as your lottery ticket to trade for big names? I'm sick of always being the bridesmaid.
That is a great text right there. If you know financially that you're in a market and a system that you cannot buy big-time players, the only other way to get them is to what?
Yeah, to trade for them.
Yes.
And Tim, they have a glut of prospects right now. A lot of guys who are going to run out of time before they are going to go into the Rule 5 draft, before you have to put them on your 40-man.
Yep.
Then when you're on the 40-man, then they're going to run out of options because you have so many players at all of these positions. At some point, you can't. You're going to run out of closet space.
Well,
you have to condense at some point. You have to go to Goodwill and donate some clothes every once in a while.
You're going to have to make room.
Yeah.
Yes. You're going to have to make room. And they still have the rest of the weekend until 5 o'clock on Monday.
Yeah, there's time. There's about 40 hours left for them to do something. Which is it possible
they didn't? Is it possible they have another deal in the works?
Maybe. A couple of callers have brought up Luis Ariz. I've thought Luis Ariz would be a great addition for about a month now.
Just put him at leadoff and leave him be.
Yep. And you know
don't. There's no splits here.
Yeah. Figure out where you put him later. He's played at first in his career, second in his career, left field in his career. I believe maybe a little bit at third base in his career. So he's at least played other places. They didn't care where Mike Moustakas and Travis Shaw played.
That's right. They were turning double plays at second base.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, whatever. Just figure it out. Then you have a leadoff hitter. Then you can put Churio and Terang behind him. Yep. Luis Ariz is always on base.
Contreras is now officially the cleanup hitter.
If I've pivoted from school, I'm looking for Robbie Ray, Luis Ariz combo trade to the Giants and give them whatever that it takes for those two.
Would you give them the 5, 7, and 17 for those two?
I think that's a little steep. I think that
it is a little steep but it's 2 Reynolds.
Yeah. Robbie Ray, I think actually maybe has a year after this, but it's also $25 million.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part. You might have to trade him in the offseason. I don't know, but I would be interested in those two now. That would be, I guess, the next place I look now that they didn't get Scooble.
414-677-1250. Harley on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. What's up, Harley?
Hi, guys. First of all, Tim, I enjoy your optimism. I mean, you're shooting for the sky.
I am. Yes.
I know you are. As a fan, so am I. But Aaron just hit what I was going to talk about. They have a glutton of players in the minor leagues that are going to have to be moved, traded sooner or later. What happened to this year? In other words, go for it. We had a chance, based on what I'm hearing, what the Dodgers gave away, we could have got Scooble.
Clearly they could and might have. I don't know, but clearly they could have outbid the LA Dodgers on that deal right there.
And it just, what happened to the fans? What happened to the commitment to the fans? Now we're talking about a lockout. We're talking about that the players will not accept a salary cap. What's going to happen? When is the bubble going to bust? When are we going to settle down and finally get this thing settled between the players and the owners. I know what I'd do. I'd put them in a Motel 6 in Fargo in the middle of December.
Yeah.
With a 6-pack of beer and a couple of hot dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so sick of this shit. You know, it's just really ridiculous. I mean, what about, you know, every year the fans go down to AmFam, they fill it. You know, they cheer for our team. We're the best team in baseball. You know, when are we going to make a move? Now, listen to some of the other callers about getting a hitter. Where the hell are you going to play him? We got the best, the best record in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where are you going to put him? You know,
is that a defense?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Harley, is that a defense for this team, or at least part of it? If they were to come out and say, you know, look, man, we have the best record in baseball. I mean, you guys are getting on us for not making a trade. Wait a second. It's not like we're in a contentious wild card race here. We have the best record in baseball. I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm with you guys that if not this year, then just let me know when. What would have to happen? Not when, or when, but what first? What would have to happen if last year and this year wasn't good enough for you to start dropping some prospects for a heavy hitter somewhere? What would the situation have to be if not this situation?
You know, I don't know how they explain that comment away. How do you? I mean, would you take a World Series over Midday? Of course you would. Would you take a World Series over trading Yelich? Of course you would.
Of course.
I mean, well, you know, what do you? What, you know, some of these, not necessarily our callers, but and one last thing I heard on ESPN is that the Dodgers signed Skubal so he wouldn't sign with Milwaukee. Now I don't know how much credence you can put into that, but I believe it.
I wanted to see Skubal and Miz with the third of Harrison, a healthy Harrison and everything. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that Dodger team face Skubal and Miz back-to-back games 1 and 2, whatever that series may have been. 1 and 2, let's go. You got Yamamoto and pick another one. You're going to have to scrape for everything you get offensively, just like the Brewers have to.
Well,
I wanted to see that.
Well, in 2 weeks, we're going to learn a lot because we have to go out to L.A. and play for 3 games.
Yeah.
A lot after that.
All right, Harley, great conversation, man. Thanks for staying up late. Brian, are you still in California? What's going on with you?
Well, Tim, it's been a long day of travel. We left L.A. this morning or this afternoon around 2 o'clock.
You did? Okay.
And I'm on my way back home now. So yeah, we were at the game last night, and but no, after 9 days on the road with the Brewers, watching them and everything else, yeah, it was a great trip. But
well, first of all, let me ask you, how is that stadium?
You know, it's funny because a lot of people. I walked into it thinking Anaheim, this is going to be a real dumpster, you know, and it reminds me so much of County Stadium. It isn't even funny.
Really.
The upper deck was so steep. It reminded me as a kid when I didn't really went up in the upper deck because it was so steep, and I just was told don't go up there. And to get down to your seats in those first rows of the upper deck, it was like, boy, you had to really be careful. And there was an older lady sitting down, and I was walking out, and she saw my Brewer attire, and she was an Angel fan, and she says, "Listen, I have to tell you," she says, "when I was 8 years old, I caught a ball at County Stadium."
Oh wow, nice.
And
now I will say this. I will say this on this is a completely maybe random disconnected thought, gentlemen. Why is it? And someone, some sort of developer needs to tell me why this is. There's got to be a good reason. Why is it that a lot of stadiums, most stadiums, have uneven steps?
Yeah.
So one's skinnier and then the next one is wider. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
That is exactly what it was like up on the upper deck. That some steps were bigger and steeper than others. And I just was really cringing as we were walking to our seats, and I was like, it's just, the upper deck was just unbelievable. But this lady, she told me, she said, she says, I've been in California for 40 years. And when I was 8 years old, I caught my first ball there. She says, I love the Brewers. I really do. And, then there was another Angel fan. I was standing there, and actually I was standing right next to Bryce Terang's family. They were in the lower concourse, and they were all celebrating. Well, it's enjoying the game, and this fellow was an Angel fan. He was talking to me. He says, you guys are going to go in and going to beat the Dodgers this year. And I said, I would love to think we will. He says, you don't have no idea how many people in Los Angeles want you guys to beat the Dodgers.
Wouldn't that be something if you get some theater going and just some war of words just between the two teams and just heighten this whole thing up? Maybe play the sight game against that Dodger team. When you play them in a couple of weeks, start throwing at them, start barking at them, do everything you can to get in their head. Why not?
No, I know, Tim, and that's I really wanted Scooball. I'm not going to lie to you. I really wanted the Brewers to get Scooball, but some things I've been hearing, and I really truly believe that Matt Arnold just was not going to make a trade for Tarek Scooball for a rental and give up the 16th pick, overall pick in the like Luis Pena. He wasn't going to do that. And it would have been foolish to do that in his mind. But we all would like to have seen him try to get the big fish in the sea and try to go after him.
Yeah, but you know what, Brian? I would only have this to say about that. Who said it had to be only Scooble, though? If I'm going to give you a boatload of prospects, I want a little team. You're only giving me a rental. I got to have something for the future here. I'll give you an extra prospect. We'll cut a deal here. But you're giving me a player with some team control back along with that dude.
Well, when I was talking to when Adam McKelvey was stating that if you wanted to get Tarek Scooball, he would have taken Pena and probably a Logan Henderson along with that. And I'll tell you guys, that scares me. It really does. But we're not done yet. And I really truly believe Matt's going to make some moves to make us better.
You're the best, Brian. Thanks a lot, dude. All right, there he is. Yeah, he was on this road trip, San Francisco and into L.A. as we continue to talk Scooblegate 2026. After a Brewers 3-1 win over the Los Angeles Angels, they have a shot at the sweep tomorrow. That is huge. Baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. There's Aaron Morse. My name is Tim Allen. And yeah, they got him. The Dodgers win the Scooble sweepstakes. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of different angles here. We'll talk more after the break. Also, Pat Murphy on the way. Aaron Morse, Tim Allen. 3-1. Brewers get the win. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Oh, what a tangled web baseball weaves with that Dodger team, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, there are so many different angles to this. But again, I got to remind everybody, yeah, you can be pissed at the Brewers for not equaling or overbidding or whatever it might be. But that wasn't a financial situation. That was a trade. And the Detroit Tigers are as guilty as anybody. They're the ones that made the trade too. Do you think they would have gotten better from another team? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because they would have taken it.
Oh, yeah. Other teams, I think, could have beat it.
But did other teams outbid them?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right, probably not.
The only way that you could say that a team outbid them is if you valued or you thought prospects were better than maybe the Dodgers thought, for instance. Like
right, and they're ranked in different ways.
Yeah,
yes.
Maybe the Brewers, in our eyes, had a better offer, but in the Dodgers or in the Tigers' eyes, the Dodgers had a better offer.
I totally agree. And that's the point where they may have had Adam Shesky ranked a lot lower than the Brewers have him ranked.
Yeah, because Adam McKelvey had this tweet earlier. I've been waiting to send this in. He had some good reporting. He said he asked about a relative comp to the package that the Dodgers gave up. And that response he got was Luis Pena, Logan Henderson, and then one of Bishop Letson or Josh Noth.
The response he got from who?
I guess it's I don't know who. He said, I asked about a relative comp. So maybe a scout, maybe a source. I'm not sure, but it would have been Luis Pena, Logan Henderson, and then maybe let's say Bishop Letson, which to me is a much, much better offer than what the Dodgers gave up. The top comment underneath is, this is equal how? Did Andrew Friedman tell you this? Friedman's the Dodgers GM.
Right.
I mean, because if that was the comp, there's no way. The Brewers offer, if there was that three, would be way better than what the Dodgers offered.
Yeah. Yeah. Detroit could build around those three players immediately.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's interesting. Hey, I want to thank, before we get to Murph here, I want to thank all who came out to my band event last night at Maddie's Bar and Music Lounge in Waukesha. It was really, really a lot of fun. And Roberto and Nathan and Smokey Joe and Pewaukee, my brother, thanks for coming out. And the owner said, I was listening to your show for a long time, and I heard you guys playing your theme song. So we start out the set with Stranglehold from Ted Nugent.
Very good.
And he said, I was outside and I had to run and make sure that was what I was hearing from you guys. And so, yeah, we appreciate it for you guys coming out. And a lot of times we're on the east side or we're on the south side in South Milwaukee, or we're at Potawatomi or playing wherever. And a lot of times you don't want to drink and drive all the way out to Waukesha. But so when we're in your neck of the woods, it's cool. I heard the crowd while we were playing a song when Bowers hit the homer last night, the 3-run bomb. I'm like, hey, I didn't know we were that good. They were cheering for Jake Bowers. But thanks again, Maddie's, for having us there. Appreciate that. So on the night the Dodgers acquire Skubal, the Brewers get the win 3-1, a 69-41 mark. That's the best record in baseball. A good game from Gasser, good game from the pitching staff, obviously. And then offensively, Bowers with his 20th, Terang knocked in a run, and Cooper Pratt had an RBI as well. Here's the manager, Pat Murphy.
Tonight, starting with Gasser.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Gass did a great job. He did a great job. He's gaining in confidence, and it's a tough lineup against a lefty. With all the righties they have in there that are accomplished and powerful. And he gave up a jam shot double in the first inning that led to a run. Trout was great against him, but he handled the other guys pretty well. And I was really really pleased with what he did. Patrick too, and Uribe and McGill.
Sorry, Mike. Castor's been on a pretty good run lately. What does that do for the bottom of the rotation if he can continue this?
Yeah, I mean he's been he was good for us 2 years ago, and then was injured last year and fought through it, and was on the postseason roster. I mean he's done a really nice job, and with all the rookies we have in there, he's got a little more experience, not like past rookie status in terms of like number of starts, but he's starting to gain and believe and understand what he has to do. And I thought he did a really nice job today and punched out 6 or 7 guys and limited his walks. He kept filling up the zone. I thought he did a nice job. Chad Patrick came back, did a great job. Their kids, they pitched great. I mean, that left-handed kid they brought in, I don't know who that is, but we need to take note because that guy's really good.
Jake, 10 hits in his last 20 at bats. Just the way he's emerged this year, a legit player.
Great. Yeah, he has come into his own. In the last couple of years, he's really had pieces of the year that he was just like this. And in the postseason last year, he established himself as a guy that, wow, he's one of the top hitters in the lineup. So he's been terrific. He had one little hiccup here for about 8 or 9 games, and then after that, his last 20, like you said, he's been really good.
The Dodgers lost. We leapfrog them again for top record. Is that a thing here?
Do you get something for it? Do you get something for it on August 1st? It's August 1st. Yeah, you don't get anything on August 1st to have the best record in baseball. But I'm proud of the way our guys. I mean, every year it's kind of half the team is new, and every year you got a bunch of rookies, and I'm just proud the way the other guys bring the other guys along. And it's kind of a fun thing. There's great standards set that the guys set, and living up to those standards, those young guys doing that, it's a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, interesting there from Pat Murphy. Always has a way to put it, man. Do they give you something on August 1st for having the best record in baseball? No, they don't. But man, you can't say that it's a bad thing at all. It's a great thing. And they did it last year, and it looks like they're going to be right there to do it again this year. I mean, this team is good. They may not look good to a lot of people within the industry of baseball or other fan bases. But really, at some point, you have to give this organization credit. They just win a whole mess of baseball games. Does it matter how it looks? To some fans, it does. And that's a natural reaction. Sometimes we want it to look good while we win, instead of a wild pitch with the bases loaded and someone gives you a game. Or instead of an offense that can't stay consistent, yet you're winning these games. It's always a good thing to win. And they're winning at a clip that is it's remarkable. It really is. And I think we have to pinch ourselves at times. And especially if you're the one that grew up with 26 years of no playoffs. It's just a horrible run of baseball. I mean, we're gonna go to, when we went to County Stadium and that subsequent Miller Park, because we love the Brewers. But man, it was I mean, this is a good run of baseball. Now, can they take it over the top? That is the question. All right, we're talking Brewers baseball. Tick, 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 tick. The trade deadline is fast approaching. We'll take a break. We'll get a caller in, and maybe hear, if we have time, from Trevor McGill as well. He's been on quite the run, Aaron Morse. He's been dynamite.
Him and Uribe both.
Ooh, lock it down in the back half of that game. It's been good. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. after a 3-1 Brewers victory. Final couple of minutes here on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Somebody who was at the game, at the Big A, it's Chase. Chase, you're going to get the last word. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Timmy? I'm going to make it quick. It's my birthday. The Angels and Brewers played. It was amazing. I live in California, so it was a 4.5-hour drive. Well worth it. We meet Garrett Mitchell's mom in line with the grandparents.
Nice.
Get this, Timmy. So she whips out 5 baseball cards, all signed, and says, hey, to my son, pick the one that you want. And so he picks just the one that he wants. She says she carries 5 around with her at all games. It was awesome. My son gets a foul ball before the game starts in BP. We met Pat Murphy and got an auto and a picture. Met Cooper Pratt, got an auto and a picture. It was awesome. It was
Holy smokes, that is cool.
It was so cool, Timmy.
That is cool. Hey, if you can, call the show tomorrow. We'll have more time to talk. Do that for me, Chase. I want to hear those stories.
I'll be there again tomorrow. We're in the hotel in Anaheim right now. I will call in and I'll tell you my perspective.
Rock on, brother. Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Great.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys. Love you.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love those stories. And I think that's why Pat Murphy, I think that's a trickle-down thing from him. Just being good people, let alone players. That's cool. All right, so good news, Brewers win 3-1. Bad news, Brewers did not win the Scooble sweepstakes. There'll be better days. There might be a big one tomorrow or Monday even. The main thing is seal the deal and get the sweep tomorrow. The ex-wife said I could borrow the broom again.
Good. That's a good-looking broom.
Yeah.
I want to see it again.
Might be the worst broom in the world. All right, you guys take it easy. Aaron, you're going to join me tomorrow, right?
Yep, I'll have the leadoff show at 1, and then we'll go on about 5 o'clock with the postgame, maybe a tick earlier.
Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. We'll meet you right here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Thanks to you guys for hanging out with us late night. Always impressive on, every year for 21 years on these West Coast things, Aaron. I'm always impressed with the number of people up late following Brewers baseball. It's super, super cool. We'll take it. All right, you guys have a great rest of your morning, I suppose.
I guess, yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow. For Aaron Morse, my name is Tim Allen. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, remember, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.